Today, working on some of my Chaos Knights. Now, I want to see if there's a way I can get the chat going. Just trying to keep my point sharp. Okay. Where does the live chat? There's no one there, so that helps out. We're gonna flip around and start painting. All right, here's my workstation right here at home. And we're gonna try and get some magic done on this shoulder pad here. So I'm trying to get it to look kind of like a stretched skin type effect. So I have some browns that I'm working with. And I'm gonna try to make it look, I think a face would be really cool. But I want it to be like really wicked looking, like really snarly. So here we go. It needs eyes. Now, should it be half of a face, or should it be like a face right here? I think if I do half a face, I can make it more detailed. So we're gonna do that. So we're just gonna kind of sketch in some things for that. There's gonna be an eye. I'm starting with the eye first. The nose. And then I think this whole bottom part's gonna be mouth. We're gonna exaggerate it super like. That's a sharp teeth. I'm gonna bring in some of those shadows from the corners. All right. The brown I'm currently using is a mix between, I believe it's like a bestial brown, bestial, if you will, and XV88. And I'm gonna bring it up with, let me put some reds in there, I think. Let's throw some red. A bit more red, there we go. And this should hopefully gives a little bit more contrast on the head. Doesn't look sinister enough, I don't think. We're stippling some of that in there. I think the gums on this. That's really cool. So one thing with my Chaos Knights is I'm not doing them on the same color, but I'm using same colors. But the shoulder pad here is the big thing. I'm gonna have checkerboard on one side and a chevron, half chevron on the other. And then, ow, 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 ow. Chaos spikes. Chaos spikes. They'll get you. E. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm gonna take some, set that bad boy down. Use some more gas bone. get that on my wet palette. There's no room. So I'm gonna try to layer it on top of a light brown. I'm gonna take a touch of red with that as well. We're just gonna make a lighter reddish brown. There's another highlight color. I'll probably have to darken up a lot of this too, which is fine. Making sure my paint is fairly thin. Thin enough to where I'm not worried about it clumping too much. All right. Taking the Morgas brown and mixing it with the brown that's already on my palette for the teeth. Okay. So we're gonna start here. I'm gonna roll my paint brush in the paint. That way it helps keep that point a little stricter, a little tighter. And that is exactly the color that I have there. So we're gonna do less of that brown. Okay. Maybe try and mix a little yellow with that. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, it does. Okay. All right. Thinning out that paint a little bit. Seems a little thick to me. Cool. All right, let's put some of it there. I'm gonna take a darker brown with some purple, I think. Yeah, that purple with the dark brown for inside the mouth. This way I'm keeping those tones all sort of neutral. That way they're all kind of from the same palette. And then when I put in some contrasting colors, they will pop a little bit more. Sorry, I'm at an angle there because I'm trying to see it right around the camera. Lovely. I'm gonna take a little bit of black. Kind of just near the top parts. And bring it down. Looks like I need to blend those a little bit more. It's funny, in real life and on the camera, they look different. So you always gotta kind of flop between them. So right now I'm just kind of blending those blacks in. So they're not so harsh. Cool. Is it out of focus? That's better in focus. All right. I'm gonna take some black, mix it with my darker brown shades. because I have a lot of those these details in here that I think would just pop a little bit more with some darker tones in there. Oh, ho, 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 ho. That giant spike is getting in the way. That nostril. But I also have part of the nose coming over. Beauty, beauty. Bring it over there a little bit. I like little dots. When I draw, I put lots of little dots in things. I think it just adds a nice little texture to it. So we're getting there. This is looking cool so far. Let's see. If you are a painter, I really want to know what you're working on. For the eye, I think I'm going to do it green, maybe? Like a really bright green. I'm not sure. Let's see, it's kind of a reddish brown for the skin. So a green would pop. But I have this Sons of Horus green next to it. So the tertiary color would be blue, orange. Shoot, what would that be? Not yellow. It would be yellow. Yellow green. Light green. Yeah. No. Purple? I don't have a color wheel near me. That's gonna bother me. All right. Let's see. What else can I do? Let's try it though. Let's try that little green in there, just for fun. So the green I'm gonna do is a warp stone mixed with yellow. Red. Red should be the eye color. So I'm looking at this green next to it, and I think it's too soft. I think it's too soft. So we're just gonna test this really quick with the red. Yeah, that's it. Okay. The red that's on my brush, we're gonna mix back in with some of that brown. Go back over these gums, dim gums. Sorry, I'm off camera. A lot of that. I apologize. All right. The big thing with this is not being afraid. Just kind of experiment with your stuff. I didn't really have a plan going into it. I'm taking this dark brown and black mixture now around the top of the tooth near the gums. and then on the outside of the gums as well. I'm just gonna break those apart and blend up into the gum. I wanted this to originally be a lot more painterly, but we're getting some linear stuff in there. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. That dark line is a little too hard for me. So now we're going to go back over where the gums are touching the teeth, the teethers. It's a little better. Kind of looks like lips though, but oh well, it is what it is. I'm going to darken the inside of the mouth though. So this is more black than it is brown, but I think it'll give a pop where I need it. Yeah. Thin that out a little bit. All right. I try to mix every single color to some degree. One thing when I teach my high school art classes is that paint straight from the tube should rarely be used. You should try to mix your own paints to some degree, even just a little bit. That way you have a little more ownership of it, and you can control your colors a little bit more. Because I like that. I think that's important when you're creating, is that you're not just creating what you're painting, but you're creating the palette too. Put some of that dark under the eye. Ooh. It's a little cartoony. Yeah, a little bit. But I'm loving this little guy. He's a spooky fella. He's a spooky fella. I'll try not to do that voice again. That was weird. So I'm doing that outside of that, and I'm going to take some, not Liberty with it, but like some watered down brown and blend it in just to kind of create a lip a little more so against the metal. It's looking lovely. Okay. Now, do I want to do a touch of that red again? I think so, just to pop it. And then I'm going to take that red with my wraith bone without any brown. Be better if I had a pink. I do have a pink. Let's set that down. So I'm going to be using Emperor's Children, which are getting big release here soon. Good for them. So I'm taking my Emperor's Children, and I'm going to mix that with my wraith bone. Again, trying to create my own colors. And I'm going to tap in. So I'm going to create little marks. So I'm not doing solid brush strokes, I'm just doing little taps. And that creates the texture, which is super pink. Ugh. All right, we're gonna mix some green into the skin tone. Or, yeah, no, we are. We're gonna use kind of the Sons of Horus green with a little bit of the brown in here. Because I'm curious to see how it, no, we'll use green, we'll use Warpstone. Because that way gives it kind of like a decaying texture. Oh, color. I just had a piece of plastic go straight through, not straight through, but in my finger. All right, we're gonna do little touches of this green through here. And this is just gonna help it kind of come to life a little bit. And give it a little more definition, depth, contrast, all of that. I'm gonna wipe off that. I'm gonna get some water on my brush, wipe that off on my thumb, and then wherever the green is, I'm just gonna kind of dilute it by tapping on top of it, spreading it around. And that helps kind of blend it into things around it. I'm gonna take my skin color near those, tap around the outside of the green, and let the water that's there with the watered down paint help mix it a little bit. I dig it. All right. Now we're gonna get some white out, not the product, but the paint. White scar. Ooh. That rattling you could hear is the little ball bearings I bought for him. Because white is tricky. White is tricky. All right. Putting that on the palette. Now I remember I said I never use it straight from the tube. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of my Wraithbone and mix it with my white. Because I don't want a solid white, but I want a lighter Wraithbone color for the tubers. So I'm gonna start at the bottom and pull up, off camera apparently. Just like that. Pick up. Curve up. Up, working in the same direction for all the teeth. Up. Up. And up. Okay, we're getting there. I'm gonna take that, I have a bunch of that white out there. I'm gonna take it with that pink that I have, the Emperor's Children pink. Now it's much more of a bubblegum color. And I'm gonna stroke in areas where the teeth are, but not as many. Just kind of creating that effect through there. It's looking pretty cool. I'm gonna take my black, this super watered down black, and just to help that eye pop a little bit more, mix some black with green. I need to use my color theory. So darker green underneath the eye. Because your greens will make your reds pop. It will make you think of Christmas, but it's the effect we're wanting. Not Christmas, but super cool. I take a touch of white in the eye, mean, really, that's pretty solid so far. But I think the green in the crevice between the nose and the eye is a little too big. So we're gonna brown it out a little bit. Or darken this whole area a little bit more. Yeah. Trying to look at it straight on to see if it's, the eye's a little too far to the right. So I'm gonna take that dirty color that I have. I'm gonna repaint that eye. I'm gonna see if I can, nope, smudging it won't do anything. Booger. So we're gonna paint it over. You still see it, it's hilarious. Okay. We're gonna take this white. I think the eye needs to be more here. Yeah, that's much better placement. I'm actually embarrassed that you all, the few of you that are watching, had to see me pivot like that. But that's part of painting. Sometimes it doesn't go exactly the way we want. Oh, but that turned out really cool. I think we're almost done, folks. I just need to, at least with the face here. Once that white dries, I'll be able to paint that over red. Maybe I'll do a yellow outline underneath of it. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. We just kind of look at that for a minute. Let that dry. I have zero patience. And that's one thing I like about acrylic paint, is that it dries quickly. All right, so I'm gonna do yellow underneath. Just like that. Then take my red. I didn't even clean my brush. I'm just going straight into it. And then around the outside with the yellow. But fuzzy, that makes it orange. A little bit. A little bit. And then back to the little dot of white. Right on top of there. Nope, not yet. There we go. All right. Whew. Stressful. There we go. Now I'm going to take where that white is with my brush just a little bit, because it's, the white dots are going to be erased. So I'm using the brush to soak up extra pigment. And I'm using some white up the side of some of the teeth, just to test it out, see how I like it. It's okay. I don't know what that little stray hair is. I'm going to take my watered down brush, and it's, that white is dried already. Okay. So let's try to blend it in with some wraith bone. I have off camera again. I'll get better, I swear. I need to get a GoPro just for my head. And then that way you could just, I don't have to worry about it. I don't like that line right there. There we go. All right. So there we go. There's our Grimbus, a gribbly little chaos face. All right. Thanks for watching, y'all, and I'll see you next time.